Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. Here we go, guys. We are here. We are live. We are on the precipice. We are on the cusp of game week 302. I mentioned this on the streams and the content and stuff that came out earlier in the week, but I've got tickets. I'm going to the Glasgow Derby. I'm going to Celtic versus Rangers on Saturday, 12:30. And it is red carpet material. We're getting there. It's a 12:30 kickoff, but we're getting there super early, like champagne reception and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be a great game week. I've built my teams and I've rebuilt my teams about 3 or 4 times. And right before recording this week's end product podcast, which will be out early doors tomorrow, later on tonight, I feel like I cracked the enigma and I've got 18 teams rolling now. Oh, I've got a wee notification. Oh, getting outbid on some St. Pauli Unlimiteds from a few days ago. And so we've got Division 2 cards on now. There's a bunch of French League cards come out today as well. I've also been in the market. I've completed a trade off the back of some transfer news. I'll be previewing the Glasgow Derby, the Celtic Rangers game in the stream tonight as well as I go through the actual lineup builder. The team is forecast is quite predictable. I've got a podcast coming out on the Celts Are Here channel. So make sure to check that out when it goes out, maybe later tonight or early tomorrow. We'll go through the predicted 11 on that. But in general for the match itself, expectations. I actually think Celtic cards, like, it looks like a really tough fixture. My expectations, as always, are biased and high. So, and you can maybe read into that in a few different ways, perhaps. But I think it's going to be a great game. I think we're going to have a great result. I just think the team is just. I just don't think we've been firing on so many cylinders. It's a great time to be a Celtic fan, and I think the match is coming at a great time for us. As I actually look to check my camera, I just realised I've not actually fired up my big lights or whatever. I'm quite happy to leave it the way it is. I don't think you will be too bothered either, because we'll be diving into all the good stuff basically in terms of building the teams and whatever. I'm going to start this game week, but yeah, he's quite simply. Before I come in, I'll come in first of all. We'll do some fist bumps. I see slow mo fist bump. Good to see my man Zach Raymond. Hindo, not here for long, but we'll tune in for a bit. Good to see you, my man Zach Raymond. Talk to me. Starfelt safe. I think Starfelt is the one to go for over Jens, but it is probably the biggest question mark of the day, to be honest with you. Are you doing a Celtic team predictor? Yes, sure. Let's go for it if he's wrong after it. Good evening, Quins. Thanks, Sorare Josh. Good to see you. I'm going to start off doing my first 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to start off with my SD World League, right? Because I missed out on this last week and I forfeited. I think it was to Reedy. So a huge 3 points that I just sacrificed. I'm against James 7 this game week and he is giving it big licks. I've not picked my team yet. I have picked all my Sorare teams, so I've got a good idea of who's where in terms of the standings of my squad and everything. But with the World League, like, honestly, I want to win the division. I want to get promoted in at Division 1, and throwing those 3 points away last week was just brutal, to be honest with you. Looking at the odds, actually, for Getafe away to Valencia, I think that's actually very generous for Valencia, considering that Soler has left this week. I know Cavani is just signed, and they actually get somebody else pretty decent in over the line. Mario Lemina, but he's not a playmaker. There was another playmaker that we're linked to. I forget who it was. Oh, James Rodriguez said he would walk to Valencia to sign for them. I think he's a free agent, so I think he can maybe be done after the deadline. So keep your peepers on that if you've got a James Rodriguez or you're interested in one. But as it stands, with no Carlos Soler, Cavani not integrated into the squad, and the condition of what I seen of Valencia last week when I watched them with Atleti, I think those odds are very generous in Valencia's favour, and I would say they were overpriced, to be quite honest. That's interesting. I think my Getafe cards are actually going to have quite a good game. Muric is apparently sketchy, more likely to start than not, but sketchy all the same. Van der Vert's went into my best team, so I think he has my best goalkeeper. It's good to see that the Karagumruk's odds at this late hour are still quite split down the middle. There's a slight home favourite bias, but nothing major really. It's splitting hairs as far as the bookies are concerned, because Turkey is quite random in that sense. Tucumon and Carlos Lampe are sitting top of the table. They're at home. Actually, I might play Lampe. Lampe's King Lampe. Lampe's top of the league, goalkeeper of the year, isn't he? He's got to win the goalkeeper Ballon d'Or. Hey, that's what we've all got to see. If we can vote for that goalkeeper Ballon d'Or, we all have to vote for Carlos Lampe. Whenever the Ballon d'Or voting opens, we need to watch out for the special goalkeeper one that they've made. And if we have any sort of public vote element, we have to be nominating King Lampe, because He definitely should be. So Celtic versus Rangers in defence, right? I think it goes all the way back to being normal. I think we go with Josip Juranovic, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Carl Starfelt, and Greg Taylor. I think we go right back to that for being the back four. And I think we go. I think that's the strongest back four. But Jens, like against Ross County midweek, I watched the game and he looks so good. Like he does look better than Starfelt. But Starfelt has he has the miles on the clock, especially in the partnership and in the makeup of the overall team. And in this kind of match, that is worth more than Jens's potential ability, I think, in this game. The manager probably is on the same wavelength as that. And I would be very surprised if Jens does start, but if he was the only change, that would not surprise me. I'm going to go with Maffeo as one of my best my best defenders, because I think he's on great form. The new matrix really seems to suit him. And, Mallorca, they were very close to getting Brooks over the line, but he's went to Benfica. But I think they've been recruiting really well. Yes, we've only picked one defender. I think also as well, because when I'm doing these teams, guys, I'm always picking, again, for anyone who's new, I don't think any of these will be, but I'm looking to pick my three best, my four best, my three best of every position, and then try and go from there. Now, Boyata, I think, is an amazing pick this game week, but he's not started yet. Obviously, he made his debut from the bench on Friday there, but I would expect him to come into the starting 11, but I'm not close enough to it to be mega confident to throw him in. Guardiola, I think, will start and could be a good pick, but it's a tough game. Now, word has just reached me that Filip Benkovic has transferred to the Bundesliga 2. So he goes from being on the bench at Udinese to hopefully being a starting centre-back for Braunschweiger, if that's how you say it, or Braunschweig, or I don't know how you say it. So that could be cool. I don't actually have that much option in defence except for some guys like Lukeba. Who does he have? Angers. I think Lukeba's a great pick. Let's put him in. And then I think I'm going to go for Cameron Carter-Vickers right now. I'm really tempted to also pick Taylor, but or Don Crescito. I suppose they're the favourites, say they're at home. I think I might pick Crescito. I might even drop Maffeo. No, I'm going to drop Lukeba. I'm going to play Carter-Vickers in the middle. And then I'm going to have Don Crescito. And I'm calling him Don because he's Italian. He's Don Crescito. That'll be my back three. I think that'll be pretty good. That's also like a Canada derby. They're at home. And not that Canada derbies are like that ferocious or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. That's a good game to be involved in for a player like him. He could score some good points for sure. I think the same as well for my boy here, Marcelino Nunes. He is kicking ass and taking names. I know he's one of my best midfield options. Soler has been neutralised with this PSG transfer. And then in midfield for Celtic, like Haksabanovic, I think there's a great chance that he features. And guys like him and Giakoumakis and Abada, I think all three of them, when they come off the bench, they are all going to be choking to get in the mix. And I can't see it being anything other than a great game for Celtic. And I'm tempted, I wouldn't put him in this kind of situation, but if I can find a spot for Haksabanovic or anyone else like that, an underdog situation or whatever, then I might go with that. I think I'll put Llorente in here because I think he's going to score really good this game week. With Molina being back from injury, he can now go into attacking right midfield, and he should score much better up there. And there's some new signings coming in here, but I think as I get towards the bottom of this, Ian Harkes, I actually fancy putting in a good team. He got a goal midweek, and it looks to be Dundee United are maybe rejuvenated under the new manager, whoever he is. I've never heard of him, but we'll put McGregor in centre mid along with. I could maybe play Hatate as well. That would be fun. No, I'm going to go with Nunes. I'll pick Nunes. And then, who is my last midfielder I would want to put in? Who's got a good match? Tonali could have a great game at home to Inter with no Lukaku. Kone could have a good game. Haksabanovic we spoke about. Yeah, there's no one else really jumping out at me. So again, midfield, I am thinking about how Key has got a decent fixture on paper. Let's put Key in. Key could do a job at left wing, couldn't he? I've picked my limited Nunes for some reason, but that's no problem. And then my three up top, I'm really Jota has to go in. I think Kyogo has to go in, and then I could pick Giakoumakis, I could pick Hatate, Unal. I can really pick anyone. So I think I want to go with the safest bet for a goal. Ideally, somebody away from the Celtic match, just to kind of hedge myself a wee bit. Magno's away from home. Jordan Morris, I think, is actually great for a goal. Where's Raul Rui Diaz? Because I think he's... There we go. And then I can put GG on the bench. And I was going to say Maeda, but that's not the way the bench works. I keep forgetting that. So midweek, guys, how did you get on? Because the midweek, I went into it with a lot of confidence. I was actually thinking, wow, this midweek could actually be legendary. I had 6 teams going out. I was super excited for all of them, and all of them get absolutely wiped out by something and nothing really in one way, shape, or form. We'll put McCrory on. He's playing a top v bottom kind of situation. Backup defender could be an easy decision. Let's just put Greg Taylor. And again, I want to put Greg Taylor on some strong teams because he got 100 the last time Celtic played Rangers. That was at Ibrox, and it was one of the games. It was one of his kind of formative matches, I feel like. So yeah, I'd be quite eager to do that. And it's Captain Jota till I die. Of course it is. So yeah, that's the team I'm going to rock in against James 7 for World League Division 2. Now, I've got that done. Now, my conscience is clean. I know I've got that team saved and we've went and done it. Guys, I want to know all the latest and greatest with the transfer window. Any expectations you've got for Celtic versus Rangers if you're playing cards, if you're picking cards for Celtic or Rangers, because Rangers do have some cards, then let me know. Who else have we got in the house? Demandamore FM, good to see you. Risto FM, good to see you. Thinking Joe Hart is fit? 100% Joe Hart is playing. Sorare Josh, newest rumour is Fekir to Barca. If they sign Fekir and they still have Depay, never mind Dembele, Rafinha, Ferran Torres, and Lewandowski, then that is crazy. James Honey is saying Mariba. I don't know what to say about Mariba, sorry. Charlie Dunbar, fist bump, good to see my man. Mikey Basson, evening, good to see you. Bald Sherlock, fist bump, my man, thanks for joining us. Alex Wilson, good to see you. Gaza as well. Mikey Basson is asking about Tyler Adams. Is that for the 11? I don't think I would put him into this, but I think he got a great AA midweek, brought up a 59 with a yellow card, no decisive. So Tyler Adams is starting to become a mini AA monster at Leeds, and with the huge multiplier, my multiplier on that is now 11%. He could be a dangerous card. So yeah, I don't know what the question is, but I hope that's the answer. You can now hide your commons with the new Sorare update. Lovely stuff. Oh, good to see. Specialist probably in the mud, relying on 100s from Ruth and Hoyt. Yeah, unlucky Alex. That's a big ask. You got a Ricky Puig? No, I do not, but I've been seeing all his highlights across Twitter. It's not a surprise. Like, you know, Carlos Gil is doing so incredible, and he isn't an elite prospect from La Masia, you know, so it's great to see these talents going there. And we've been saying this, guys, the whole time we've been following MLS playing Sorare. Is like the MLS is a potentially great breeding ground for some of this, you know, unloved talent. It does kind of swish around the lower mid ends of Europe, and I've got a transfer video coming out tomorrow, and we kind of go into this in a bit more detail in some other respects. But guys like that working out as a transfer, as more windows roll by, that should become more and more of a theme in the MLS. Like seeing like 2 seasons could be very quickly everyone's turning around and looking at that and saying that's Wonder Kid Central, or that's a great league to watch, because it's just full of guys that love playing attractive football in that league. Because they don't get relegated, they don't care if they concede goals most of the time. So it's normally great fun to watch as a neutral. So yeah, I can dig it for sure. A wee bit of Ricky Puig. Stuck between Taylor or defender Hatate. I would probably, so with defender cards, Ryan, for this kind of match, right? Taylor's going to get 90 minutes, in my opinion, right? Hatate is not. So where the defender Hatate card comes in is, do you think he can walk off the pitch with a clean sheet? Because that card has that ability to walk off the pitch with a clean sheet and take it home, you know. Because he will get subbed around the 60-minute mark, you know, and if you get the sub on the 62nd minute, 65th or something, that could be an OP play. If he's also going out and getting his attacking contributions, you know, balls into the box, maybe he gets a decisive, like a goal or an assist. So the defender card has ultimate upside with actually a little bit of protection, but I don't know if you want to go into this game imagining clean sheets, so I would then go for Taylor, who's going to go get the 90 minutes. He'll be involved in all the duels throughout the game, might get a booking, which is 3 points minus, but because he'll be winning tackles and doing all the attacking stuff that Taylor normally does, and Taylor's overdue a decisive. He's been very close for the last couple of weeks. He's got it in his locker, and like I mentioned earlier, he got 100 against Rangers last year. I would edge, personally, for Taylor just about over Hatate, but I have... Should we just go into this now? Let me catch up with the comments and I'll show you my teams, how I've ran them, right? But that's my advice to you. I think that's a safer advice for me to give you, is Taylor's more reliable to get to 70 than Rio, basically. Rio's probably more likely to get over 80 if they can walk out, if all the stars can align, if that makes sense. But equally, Taylor can get 100, so the scales are quite evenly balanced, but I would edge for it. A lot of Taylor's outcomes are safer than Hatate's. It was about Valencia. Oh, I think he might be going back to them. Oh, that'd be really good. Like Yunus Musa is really good at Valencia, right? And I feel bad for him that Solera's left because when I was watching him, I was like, man, if Solera stays, they've brought Cavani in. That Castillo guy's okay, and if they could strengthen a little bit more, like the goalkeeper's good. Valencia have got the bones of a good team, but losing Solera, like that's a heart. That's the heart of the team. Academy graduate, captain, playmaker, number 10, number 8 position. Obviously, he's made a fantastic transfer to PSG, and I hope he's a starter there because he is quality. Fucking love Soler. Like when I did the trip to the Mestalla last season, last season in March time with me, John, and Tendo, we've seen Soler like get double decisives. He scored a penalty, made an assist and stuff like that. Like the guy, honestly, like he's so close to my heart. I've got his 1 of 100 like original Soler card, and I've had it for ages. So I don't know how to feel about Valencia. Is kind of the punchline to that. Just seen a screenshot of the heap of Liverpool limited cards. Nice. I traded to and got a Depay in the trade, hoping he'd move, but nothing apart from maybe Chelsea. Well, Aubameyang has now went to Chelsea, so I don't think Chelsea have got much more of an appetite for another forward. MLS with the new Apple TV deal is cracking too. Yeah, exactly. Bullshit. Like I covered that on the channel as well when it happened. Like, but that accessibility, an Apple TV, I've not got a subscription to. I don't really know. I'm not an Apple product guy, so I'm not sure if you can access it on neutral devices, if that makes sense. But even just that coverage of, because the tagline that came out with that Apple TV MLS TV deal that came out was every game everywhere. Like they're not doing domestic and foreign territories. It's just on Apple everywhere. And that's the future of, like, I give big praise to the Russian league and the Korean league for how they do their rights. And every league that's not the top 5 in Europe really should be taking a leaf out of those leagues and the MLS's book and just going right left field and just go straight to the customer. Just go straight to us and say, pay us £8 a month, £6 a month, cancel it whenever you want, watch any game you want. No bother. It's on YouTube, it's in Apple TV, it's on Amazon, it's on Netflix or whatever. Like on Amazon, I watch all the La Liga games, which is super handy. And then Premier Sports, I can turn that on in Amazon TV as like a sub app, dead easy if I want to watch some Celtic games that are on Premier. So that accessibility is all about football. And again, I mentioned it on a video that was on the channel yesterday. I hope you liked the thumbnail for it, me prancing here, jumping about a field and whatever. And I mentioned it on the podcast with Stish, but these new specialist divisions, like, I think they're going to be just a trick for a lot of people who are putting a lot of hard yards in, building really sophisticated, really intelligent lineups, and are just getting like avalanched under. I know that's not a real sentence, but that's the image that's in my head. I'm trying to get out my mouth. So you can access on any device at the moment. It's £7 a month, I think. Ball Sherlock, great intel. Thank you very much, and I'll look into that further for myself. So in terms of Celtic, right, when with that question you're posing to me there. Oh, I've got another notification. 2 seconds. What is it? Higher bidder on an Arson Poly card. So for this game week, like when it comes to the Hatate and the Taylor conundrum, I've actually put Hatate in my big shiny team, right? But I'm also putting my big shiny team with the new Kyogo and super rare Soraya away to Valencia. I think he's going to be busy. I think Valencia will have plenty of shots at him and stuff. He might not walk out with a clean sheet, but he might, because with no Soler takes all the set pieces. He's not there anymore. They don't have any major creative outlets. Cavani's like 40, just signed. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be decent, and a few of the other guys are okay, but like, anyway, I think Soraya's on for a great match, and I'm hoping Hatate can like get a decisive. I'm hoping Hatate can get to like 70 points, maybe jackpot out with a clean sheet bonus and walk off the pitch. And I'm going for All-Star this game week here because Star Super Rare still available. The prize pool, somebody won the Carlos Heel out of it last week, and I think Morioka's been won recently enough. So this pool isn't actually as great as I would like it to be for me to be competing in here, but a lot of these cards are like pretty great. Like a Tammy Abraham, Gakpo, Veerman, Skov Olsen, Diego Costa, Tadic. That top order, if you were to get in amongst them, they're crazy super rares to be winning. Even that Thiago Almada, Joe Hart would be fantastic for me. Slonina would be some card to win as well. Soleil, Trezor, a lot of great cards. I'm not sure if all of them are necessarily stars. The tier 1 pool, what am I looking at for the tier 1? So Kyogo's in here. I don't, maybe Kyogo can be one from this division actually, because I won him in Challenger. Anders Dreyer, yeah, Aubameyang super before maybe get the last one of him that gets made. Then there's some goalkeepers and stuff. It's quite interesting, that field. But what I actually think I'm able to do this game week is I think I'm able to field an equally as strong team in Challenger. Now, Viviano, I like the odds of the goalkeeper thing, right? But I am confident enough to pair him with my Celtic guys, because if he did let my Celtic guys down, I would be raging. Dundee United, I think, will have a little kind of mini bounce after the midweek result they got was positive. Going to a 3-5-2 and playing Tony Watt next to Fletcher, like with the midfield free, the centre free of Levitt, Harks, and McGrath, looks to have good balance to it, and they scored some good goals. If I caught the highlights, and they've got decent fullbacks in that Behic and I forget who's on the right. Is it McMahon? Are decent, and then the back three are solid. And if Charlie Mulgrew's back in, then we know what he can do. And that unique and that super rare, I think they can get great scores in this match in a kind of low pressure situation for me, because I can play super sub Giacomakis and Captain Rio next to this, and like this team could win this division very easily. But I wouldn't really feel that confident about this team in All Star, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of appropriating my assets. I would expect it to bag something, and as you see with the luck I got with the tier 3 with Demer Bobag last week, like if I got into the tier 3s here and we got a Capaldo, or if we got something else quite lucky out here, Nangaland would be quite fun. Don't want Boyce, he's injured now. Mwene, we won him last game week. Philip Max, that'd be a great one for a tier 3. Cochrane, I think he plays. Kingsley plays. So yeah, it's more of a this is kind of FC Barcelona and Quinny. I've kind of built those two teams in tandem to maximize both in terms of odds of probability. But then the next move I made, I've got a notification. Oh, I've got an offer. I'll let check this off screen. Sorry guys, I've got an offer for my Kyogo. It's on the market. This guy's been bidding all day. It's been going up and up and up. He's been bidding all day. He's not quite got to the magic number yet, but he's getting close. He's getting close. The thing as well is I've got somebody else, actually a friend of the channel, that's kind of agreed to buy this off me for a mate's rates. But if somebody comes in with more, then I can't refuse more money, of course. But I also want to try and keep this Kyogo to use this game week. So I'm in a funny situation, but he is getting close. He's getting so close to the magic number. So yeah, no Kyogo for him. But then so once I've done that, I'm then making sure, because as we know, guys, no one is winning tons of prizes these days, and I've just built my team the FC Barcelona way. I don't care if they're U23, I don't care if they're Champ Euro, I don't care where they're from, what regions or whatever. This is the best all-star pro team I can make. Van der Voort at home with a plum fixture. Trippier is at home in a good fixture as well on all the set pieces and whatever. Nunes is at home in a great fixture. Kyogo and Jota, Captain Jota till I die, Captain Kyogo. Like that is just a great team, and this is for me podium dangerous. Like I'm looking at I'm getting top 20 with this. I have to, top 100 has to be on the cards, of course, and star rares this week. Like I'm thinking about them. I am thinking about them. I'm thinking about Kimmich, Courtois, Magic Mike. Love some of these guys, man. Vlahovic would be great. Joey Veerman. A lot of great cards in this category. I've seen a Carter Vickers there, as well as the good and the great of world football. So yeah, I'm right up for it this game week with the bread and butter division. I've not won in this division for a good while, and with how weak I am in midfield, like I've mentioned, I have to maximise the assets I've got. Now I have went out also, and I'll jump into the live chat in a minute and catch these up, but I've went out and got a Conrad Limer, so I've tried to strengthen up in midfield again, but I'm trying to think if there's any other Celtic related cards to kind of show and tell or whatever. But yeah, I'm not playing Jens. I'm really confident that Starfelt does start. I think that's more than likely. But I went and I got a Conrad Limer in to try and buff up a bit of Champ Euro. And I did start off with Robbo and Oblak and actually my All-Star rare, like my D4 team. But I can still have equally as good cards there with Coronel and Greg Taylor and make this team happen. So I'm not expecting to do anything amazing in this, but the fixtures are tight, and like Limer can get good AA and is very decisive capable. She's not done it this season, as is Lorente, and Nemeka is the main man at home in a decent enough fixture, all the rest of it. Robbo's got a derby and all the rest of it, the script. All Black is away to Sociedad, so I'm sure he'll be busy, might not get the clean sheet. but he's at max XP plus 10%, so, I could get into something. And if I only top 50, if I can get top 50, I'll be happy with this team. What do you think? Top 50. Captain Robbo, of course, but yeah, that's what I'm going for there. And yeah, I'm going to take a wee pause for the cause, guys, and I'm going to catch you in the live chat. It's been one of those weeks, guys. It's again just absolutely flown by, like an absolute train. I traded. I caught that. Sorry. The Russian league is great for $4.99 plus the Danish league on OneFootball for free. Oh, I didn't know that. I know OneFootball have got some licenses, but I didn't know the Danish league was on that. That's fantastic. I will be plugging into that. That's fantastic. Quindog, Hendo, catch you later, my man. I've worked out I have one good month per year for rewards, and this month was the one for this year. Nothing until 2023 for me now. Lovely to see the Limer in the club after the member stream. Yeah, so I placed it. So I actually had to max out my wallet. So I put the bid on. I didn't put any bid on it. I went to try and snipe it at the end, and I was doing the kind of maths on it. When you look at the bid and then you do on your calculator times 1.1 because that's the increments. No, they've changed it. They've made it cheaper, remember? So it made it even harder for me because I didn't know them all off the top of my head to think what's a kind of price I could put a bid at that would deter further. And I ended up basically, the way the bids went with 1 hour to go, the next bid was, see this number here, it's 2215, okay? The next bid was 2211. That was the next bid, and I was like, oh, fuck it, well, I'm just going to put my wallet on it. And we got it. I woke up, I fell asleep. Woke up in the morning to Cormad Limer. And then I sent a trade offer to Roddy Boss. I'm sure it was Roddy Boss. Roddy Boss, a bunch of, no, bear in mind, all these are doublers, limited rookies for a rare Mikey Johnson. I think he's sealing his loan deal to Victoria Guimaraes in Portugal. So it's a challenger rare mid, potentially paying off for me. And these guys, like, I've got them all doublers anyway, so I'm not really losing out on much to roll them into this. And I see it as kind of, low risk for me, so I didn't need to buy Mikey Johnson at any other time when he might have just been a reserve player. He's almost certainly leaving, and I think he'll play there. Marcus Edwards was there last year. He's now playing at Sporting Lisbon. And Angel Gomez played for them as well, I think, before he went to France. I think there was another kind of, so they've got previous for nurturing talent and whatever. I won't be able to use him this game week, but if he's on the bench this weekend or next weekend or whatever, and I can get a kind of handle on where he's at, maybe he's a rare mid I can use in Challenger or an underdog or something. I also did a bit of a trade. Oh, no, I didn't. I just bought him. Abelgard, as soon as the sniffs came out that we're going to be signing him. Don't think it's quite sealed yet, but apparently he's in Glasgow doing a medical and all the rest of it. Apparently he's a boss defensive mid. Like, his stats give me the shades of like Vinicius Souza, in terms of the numbers he can do potentially. Problem is Celtic don't really have that much rugged defending to do, so I don't know how often he's actually going to play, and if and when he does, how well he might actually score. The main benefit to this guy playing is that I believe he will facilitate McGregor playing further forward. So I'm just happy to see this guy doing well in all shapes and sizes anyway. I do want to get a rare of him and Haksabanovic, because again, rare mids, and I think if I got both of them in, I would probably be well padded with like rotation pieces and whatever. But they're far too expensive what people want for them, for what they are. I'd say they are rotation pieces at Celtic, and they'd be rotation pieces at my club. So yeah, people just have to run a little bit too much for what they are at the moment. I'll need to wait on that. Now, under 23s, I've kind of downed tools on a bit this week because, like, Harwood Bellis, I think he's got a decent fixture, but away at West Brom isn't a gimme, Illich, I think's got an okay fixture, but outside the Village, I've only really got Nunes as an option here, and I need him in All-Star, and I'm playing Jota in All-Star also, and, so then I need different combinations of supers and rares and all the rest of it, so this is basically the best team it works out as. Thiago started on the bench midweek, which is a great sign because he should come in to start at the weekend. And Tati at Girona, I think they've got a decent fixture as well. Yeah, away to Mallorca. I do fancy Maffeo to have a great game, but Maffeo doesn't really need a clean sheet to score 60 points off of AA because he gets so many crosses into the box, and he gets into the thing with Pablo Maffeo. If you watch Mallorca, and I don't suspect you do, but if you did, he gets into the box all the time, like all the time from right back. He just runs, Teo Hernandez style. He just runs away and runs himself right into the box. Boavista have picked up another rookie mid, Charnak from Loco Zagreb. Mikey Basson, that's a nice one. And these guys, if they do get minutes in the Portuguese league is kind of similar to the French league in that sense that it doesn't really matter what team you play for, but if you can play for a team in that league, like almost anyone might buy you, you know. Um, I suppose there's some other leagues that's true for, but I really feel Portugal and France in particular, like even teams that you've never heard of might get somebody decent, but it's because they're guaranteed to play and that's all they want is a shop window. And a much grander scale, sort of. It's kind of what happened to Matt O'Reilly. Kind of left Fulham because he wasn't getting minutes, went to MK Dons, and subsequently then we've picked him up. You know, so yeah. Is there any other teams that I'm kind of? Yeah, I'm kind of pretty much set in terms of that. I'm trying my best as well to try and prioritize some of these underdog competitions or whatever. Because I think like I've said, Boyata and Matteo, I think they've got good fixtures. Leget's also always decisive capable. He's away to Minnesota, so it's not a great fixture. And Una, again, I think he can score against Valencia, no problem. He's been in great form this season. The couple of times I've watched him, and Valencia are not amazing at the back. And this prize pool, it's not wide. These prize pools are not particularly amazing, but they're good fun to go for. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, so Challenger Limited. So the Barcelona Foundation team. This is the way I've laid it out. When I've tried to pick this team, like we could play it in the specialist region, right? But I don't really have any L15 under 40 qualified cards in the Challenger region. And the best ones I've got available. That's just a striker, isn't it? We want the extra spot. The best ones I've got that we would have would be Nemeth, which is cool. We could play Nemeth. Bastian should start because he didn't start at the weekend. That could be a good thing, but he's away. Again, not a great fixture. Atanasov doesn't seem to be playing. This guy doesn't seem to. Makaric, but again, away to Midtjylland is not an easy game for Aalborg. I just got a notification there. I think that's Bellerin going back to. It's not new news, but Bellerin's going back to Barca. Tony Watts over a 43. Ian Harkes actually could be a good shout at 32. So what do you think? We could actually maybe have a go at this. Let's just bin this team off. What do you think, guys? For those of you that are here, I know who the members are, so I know who to see for opinions, right? But we could do Specialist Challenger, right? 450 prizes. There's 250 entrants thus far. Star Limiteds for top 10s. A bit slim, but, you know, like if you get there, you'll be buzzing. Tier 1s for the top 60. Huge Tier 2 portion from 60 to 170, basically. And then just about 200, 300-ish Tier 3 Limiteds. So is this a better one for us to enter? Now, Perry's nominally... So we can pick any defender, really, because we're going to be... Let's get... Who is it? Nemeth and... I don't know which weekly I'm taking which one from, but yeah, there's Nemeth. And the other one was Harkes, wasn't it? I think Harkes is very decisive capable. Like, you know, I've seen Dundee United enough. Like, you can take my word for it on this one. So in defence, we could have Gertruida, we could have Hatate, we could have Max. It's probably not a great fixture. We could have Lambert. I think that's actually a really good fixture for Lambert, but he's just not a, you know, sexy player, if you like, for this kind of roster. So I think the safe pick is probably Gertruida away to Go Ahead Eagles. That's probably the safe one. Away to Lask is maybe a good fixture for Plavetic here. I think you would probably all just go for Gertruida because he's safe as houses. And then up front, Maeda, Tony. I'd probably go for Maeda just for safety because I think he's capable of getting any kind of a thing. So, I don't know. What do you think? Could we do that? Hey, Quinny, missed the start of the stream. Do you know if Joe Hart is available for the Old Firm, the Glasgow Derby, after his head injury? Yes, Joe Hart will play. Joe Hart was just kind of rotated because it was the Cup, and that's just all kind of coincidence, if you know what I mean. It sounds like some of you guys were a bit injured for him, worried about his injury. But what do you think? Should we do that? Is this capable? I think both these L15 under 40 guys are both decisive capable of this game week. And if they did, you know, this team could go off in a big way, man. But that's only 10 spots for Star Limited. What is it for Challenger? Because whoever this wins, of course, we would give it away. Yeah, there's 30 spots here. Yeah, sack that for a laugh. So Perry, I think Gertruida's the best pick for defender. I think that still stands. I went for Nadishimai in the first time around, and Hitate. And Maeda, yeah. I think it's the multipliers and stuff. What do you think? Is this the team that we run with? I think I would probably captain Nadisha Mai because I think he gets 90 minutes and he's at home in a good fixture. What do you think for the foundation team? We've got some new players, I think, in this team as well. Let me go check the squads. And I don't think we get too much there, but we're going for about 40 minutes, guys. I think we're just lineup builders. especially when I'm just kind of looking through the prize pools and having a wee kind of evaluation of them, and then maybe just even finalising this team. So who have we got in that's new? Machida, Stroudy. Is there somebody else? No, maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining things. Savio. Yeah, we could maybe. Savio's not got a great fixture. I could put these guys in. That's what I was thinking about doing. But I don't think. Maybe Haksabanovic is a. I don't think he was coming in there, but as being. Have we got two Nemets in here then? Yeah, we do. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Right, I've got a SD11 team to build. So SD leagues, everyone can play this. So you don't need to be a part of the private leagues or whatever to get involved. And it's basically the exact same principle as the other one, but we don't have limiteds. And this is like kind of ELO ranking and all the rest of it. So I'm going to the Rangers. I'm going to Celtic. I'm going to Celtic Park to see Celtic versus Rangers on Saturday, and simply Alex will be joining me. So any stuff I get recorded or whatever, Alex should be involved in that, which is good fun. Tried to get Alex to come into the studio tomorrow, and also Etienne 23. That's my manager name from the Sorare Odyssey. Will be joining us as well, and I'm bringing my pal along with me. So we should have a great day at the match, and I say we might be able to catch up with Etienne at some point as well. But I was hoping to get Alex in here tomorrow, maybe do something fun if there was some games on. But he is otherwise engaged with family, who he will be resting with while he's here for the match. So it should be a great weekend on that kind of front as well. I might be back in, depending on how the game week goes on Saturday. If I've got cards running on Sunday, maybe do some live streams and stuff like that again, because I really enjoyed also winning that Kyogo and the Demerby for Demerbag for a lot of reasons. But see, having the kind of the live stream was going through the game week, like it's great to then kind of look back on and see that, yeah, I was talking about this player doing well, and I was talking about winning that card, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure it'll work in different ways and backfire on me on occasion, which will be good fun for anyone watching, obviously. But I think that's probably as good. I'm just gonna pick three. I'm trying to avoid Celtic in this, because just in case, like, I don't like having all my eggs in one basket in general, anything. So I'm trying to diversify with some of these defensive selections, because I don't think a clean sheet is a given. I would like us to win 4-0. It's probably going to be 4-1. Like, I think that's my prediction for the match. Celtic. I can't see us not scoring 2 goals in each half. Like, I think we start the game really hot, and I think we get a goal in the first 15 minutes easily. And then I think we get another goal before half time, no problem. And then we've got all those subs to make in the second half. So whenever we get the goal second half, I don't know. But we're going to have a bunch of guys, fresh legs, motivated to go and do it. And yeah, I just can't see it but anything other than Celtic 4, Rangers 1, Celtic 4, Rangers 0, something like that. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think McGregor got decisive midweek in the cup, which was not SO5 scored, but let's hope we can get one in some SO5 action at the weekend. And maybe McCrory's get one of the better fixtures here. Yeah. And then up front, if I'm trying to avoid Celtic cards, how many strikers can I actually pick? I know I'd pick Nemeka. He's got a good fixture. I know I'd pick Andrade, because I think he'll start. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I still want to play Kyogo and Maeda. And Jota. No, not Jota. Captain Jota. Aye. We'll get Nemeka on the pitch for this one. And then we need a bench. Don't forget the bench. But yeah, all good. And I'm really happy with some of the trades I managed to pull off as well, because as I'm getting bids for cards like the Kyogo, and I've listed a few things for sale, like there's been great activity across the market, which is been good for trading and strengthening. I'm talking to a lot of managers that are changing their galleries and repositioning, getting stronger in Europe or moving out of Europe into the Americas. Everyone's moving in different directions, which is always great to see. Because there is more than one way to play the game and get your enjoyment out of your interaction with the game. And honestly, like, I'm gonna have so much fun with all these Celtic cards, like, going to this game at the weekend. It should be amazing. And again, if we get the footage and stuff like that as well, like, hopefully you guys enjoy anything that comes of it. But and then Captain Jordan, we did, and then we can save that magic. And yeah, I think we can take an RV What's for the cause? I can catch up with you guys. A lot of recording today, so the end product podcast that's all been edited and stuff. It just needs to process in the interweb, and it'll be available on Spotify and Apple and YouTube and all that good stuff. You sure you want to stream Sunday after a Rangers win? That's not happening, Mike. You don't even kid on with that. Like there's no chance. No chance. But the funny thing as well is like the tickets we've got are like proper hospitality tickets. So it's like collar and tie, no colours, no trainers, no denim. That's actually stated in the thing. And so we're gonna be, I've seen to Etienne when we were messaging, I was like, we're gonna be on the sauce all day. Like I'm gonna be out all day for the game. I just can't see us. I can't see it. No, it's going to be good fun. I'm expecting, as I say, I'm expecting us to get a couple of goals in the first half. I'm ruling out a clean sheet. I'm not expecting it. If we got one, then yeah, give me it. But I think 4-1 sounds about right. Penalty to Rangers is always in the cards. And it'll be interesting to see who gets 90 minutes, and if the manager does substitute as kind of gung ho as he normally does, at the 60th minute, make 2, 3, or 4 changes, because that's the pattern he's displayed so far. Depending on how the match goes, etc., and how people are performing. So it's going to be a really intriguing match on all sorts of levels. Hopefully the weather's pretty decent as well. As I say, we'll be, between me, Alex, my pal, and Etienne, we'll be getting on it all day. Remember when Rangers had no chance of beating PSV? Yeah, Stocky Scott, I know. And that's the thing is, like, I'd have, like, honestly, like, I jinxed Rangers all the way into that Europa Cup final, or whatever the fuck it's called. But this is different. It's Celtic Park. I was talking like this before me and McBride went, and we got a good result. And we had cards playing that day as well. And having cards for Celtic Rangers, like, it was just fucking next level, man. It was fantastic. And seeing Sorare on the boards and the side of the pitch and all that just hits different. So I've also got the strike force going into this D3 team, hoping to do well. I've got the whole team going into All-Star, going to mix it with the good and the great of world football. And then where do I have my other ones? I've then got my rares and Challenger. So I'm actually going in Challenger pretty heavy as well. I think Ross McCrory has a good fixture. And this is a full other Celtic D3 team. Now, I don't want to put this basically into, like, in terms of the Hart and the Taylor, into All-Star in case they don't perform, because I think Trippier and Van de Voort have got better fixtures and I could play them in my better team quite comfortably. But equally, they do make this team way more viable and way more dangerous to get into that kind of top 50 spot, which is what I'm aiming for. Because again, this is a tough game, and if I was not having Celtic cards looking at this, I'd think, oh great, it'll be a match where they don't win like 9-0 or something, and there's not hat-tricks going off everywhere. But the amount of players the combinations of players I've got, particularly, like, I only need like 3 goals to properly go my way, and it's jackpot city across the board. I'm quite excited for the specialist. I've used Nemeth as the L15 under 40 qualifier, as well as Kostic. Now, I'm just going to double check on Kostic because he came off the bench midweek. Yeah, so home of Fiorentina, so I hope he will play, because they'll probably want him up to speed for Champions League, because he should be a key player for them. Frimpong is actually just over the qualification thing, but there was no better. Maybe this Lambert's a slightly better shout, but I like Frimpong. He's just scored a 91 in the last game week, so I have to play him. And I think Raul Rui Diaz is just on for goals at home to Houston. That's just a happener. And Fry's got a good shot at a clean sheet. Specialist Limited, we're getting star rares to the top 5. Top 25 will get a tier 1 rare. That's the dream. Top 25. If we can get top 80-ish, then we're going to be content. Top 100, I'm sure we'll be content enough. So yeah, hopefully we do a little bit better here this game week. And I'm hopeful if Kostic starts, man, he can bang 100. And if your L15 under 40 character can bring in 100, and if this guy brings in a 70, then all the rest of it. Oh, I've got another notification. This might be in our bid, guys. This guy, yeah, he's coming for deadline. He's his increments he's increasing are not big enough. But yeah, he's desperate for Kyogo for this deadline. I can feel it. Wonder if Kyogo will sell while we're on air. I've got some cards that I would actually be wanting to buy. So if I sold Kyogo, there's a transfer or two I would want to action to like strengthen my team, and I would make a wee cheeky withdrawal or something on top of it. But having him in play this game week, because the Kyogo that's up for sale is the one that I bought, that helped me win the Celtic one. But I can have that in this All-Star. I can have my cake and eat it. I can have double super rares for one more game week, hopefully. So like I've got a price in mind, and if it comes, man. But um, it's not quite there yet. It's getting very close, I must say. The Aldi Trent Tavernier is going to grab a goal. Yeah, well, penalty to Rangers. Non-stick Lama says 2 sendings off now. The thing about the Glasgow Derby, or Celtic versus Rangers, or the Old Firm, or whatever you would like to call it, is that bookings are not my friend this game week. Like, especially the defensive cards as well, because they should be breaking any counter attacks and that kind of stuff as well. But forwards, you know, you don't need to worry about goals conceded. You don't need really worry about fouls and bookings as much as you do for your defense cards and some of your mids. And that is the main jeopardy, I think, for that. So that's why like making this challenger team a bit stronger. I don't mind doing that at all, because if it comes in, I've got all the pieces there for that to be a great team. And I don't think I'm wasting them by putting them in that D3. There's only 420 entrants, and for how strong that team is before a ball's kicked, if we kick the balls in the right direction and all the rest of it, then maybe it turns out good. And under 23s, I'm putting a Bada in because I think he gets a decisive from the bench. The rest of this team kind of picks itself, really. Not too sure about Muric, but I've not got any other goalkeeper. And I'm putting Captain Arnold in with the Celtic main power stack and All-Star. He's got a good fixture at home to Cologne, and he takes all the set pieces, pulls all the strings. So that could be good fun. Champ Hero, I'm playing Lukeba here, making this team proper strong. I think all these guys have got strong fixtures, hard games. Kramaric has Dortmund, Ternali has Inter, Silva has Atleti. Lukeba's got a kind of easier game. Soraya is away to Valencia, but you know, good players score big scores in big matches. Jack Mayer, a guy I picked up for like £3 for a builder video or whatever, scored 100 last game week. He still qualifies for underdog, and I think him at home to Austin, he could score amazing again. I don't even know if he's going to start, to be honest with you, but I've slung him in here with Chervy, Nemeth, and Rutter, and they're all these guys can score a goal basically, and that's just kind of the play I'm making in that division. Champ America, it's King Lampe and Don Crescito, surrounded by a bit of a Seattle stack for the fixture they've got there. Maybe that does something fun. Champ Hero and Underdog Super we spoke about, and Underdog Rare. Again, I've just tried to get guys in that can all do something. Ominabi's playing midfield now, it looks like. And Champ should start. He was on the bench midweek. Heber will be on the bench probably, but can get a goal from the bench. And I've made Angelino captain. He's playing Dortmund, and he seems to do better on the new Matrix already in the first game. And if he can get decisive, all the better. This team, I don't think has got a snowball's chance in hell of doing anything. The midfielder is too weak. Barco, I don't know if he's going to play or not. Leggett, I've used elsewhere. But 40 cards are on the table. How many entrants are there? I don't think it's that terrible, really. 373, like, it could happen, but I'm not holding my breath on it. And then an All-Star, I'm trying to, like, I think that this could be this should be a top 500 team. Like, last week I said top 200 and we finished 100. This should be a top 500 team, I would think, you know. If we get enough decisives in the team, it could probably match our result we got last week, but I think, you know, Taylor, I think this team should be benching 350 to 370 points, something like that. And including multipliers, maybe my maths is a bit crooked. It could be good, man, but I'm expecting top 500 and getting in amongst, you know, a decent tier 3 or the back end of the tier 2s, maybe, from that division. And is there anything else worth talking about? This is actually the lowest ranked team in my club. Tanny's fixtures, I hope at Kawasaki. The rest of the team, Eo Tanaka, I don't know if he plays right, but Tolkien, Guardiola, and Kamala are all decent cards, but it's just like, where else to put them? They make this team functional. Tanny will play. Eo Tanaka, it's either him. This is like my bottom ranked team, and this is the last spot of bother. It's this last midfield spot between Eo Tanaka and Ferran Torres. I could play Adams in here, I suppose, but it weakens that team, which I don't want to do. Palaversa's just transferred, but I don't think he'll make the team. Jochima Fujita's rotation patterns are a nightmare. Reina might come back, probably won't. So yeah, this is the last run of my problem. Is Ferran Torres or Eo Tanaka? Yeah, it is a really good AA team stocky, Scott. I mean, so I think I've got a really high base, and then if I can get some decisives in there, the right captain, some good multipliers, over 6.5 cards is the easiest bet of the weekend. Do you think so, Mikey? Can't see McGregor not getting a yellow card really from a tactical foul at some point. Yeah, I'm not really too bored about it. One yellow. Maybe list him for what you want with the minimum bid set at the same and see if he comes a bit closer to the deadline, says Charlie Dunbar. I'm not really like. like I don't really want to sell him for the minimum right now. Like after the deadline, sure. I'm sure his appetite will maybe go down 5% after the deadline. But still, like if he tears against Rangers, his price only goes up. Like in terms of the market, I don't really need to do much. I can hang at the same price I'm at, and anyway. And I say I've got a deal in principle with a friendly club to FC Barcelona that if they've got some players to sell and after the deadline, it's kind of convenient for both of us. So, and that bid is exactly where I would want it to be. And the couple of bids that have came in thus far, like I've had a few ones that with trade offer value, like are right on what I've listed for. But ideally, raw ETH gives me more flexibility. That's what I'm after. But yeah, there's a car alarm going off. I don't know if that's a sign, guys. We've been going for almost an hour. And I think that's about all she wrote, guys, to be quite honest with you. Is there anything you guys would want to ask or add or throw in? Let me know. Yeah, I'm going to chill out for 2 minutes and then I'll love yous and leave yous. It's been a great night. Made this. So the end product podcast should be coming out in the next couple of hours or so. Depends on where you are. That'll be morning or evening. And the Celtics Are Here podcast, check that out on Celtics Are Here. Again, it's available on all the podcast places as well as YouTube. And I'll be recording some content with a special guest, Channy Sports, maybe tomorrow. And I said that actually, but I can't remember if me and Chan. No, me and Channy. Oh no, maybe it is tomorrow. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm trying to record with Channy at some point. Simple Alex is in Glasgow. Hopefully, we'll get some sort of recording done. Etienne's in the house as well for the Rangers game, so we'll see what happens. Maybe get some good stuff over the weekend, and then Monday it'll be back to business as usual. I know I've said this for like 2 weeks on the bounce. Who would the Kyogo replacements be? Like for me, I don't really need to replace him because I won him, so it's kind of like it's just like a free item for me to trade in the market with, if that makes sense, because I only want having two Kyogo super rares is amazing, but so rare mid is obviously the spot that I'm the most weakest in. I think Limer is a plaster, but he can become like a decent option, but he's just opportunity more than anything. But my number one midfielder that I wanted to get in for that kind of rare mid spot is Paqueta. I would love to get Paqueta in for about half an ETH. So I think if I could get Paqueta in, I would be quite happy. There's also a couple of NYC cards that I think are quite well priced now. Maxi Morales is like 0.1, and Maxi Morales for ages has been worth way more, has been priced way higher than that. So maybe there's a few opportunities like that, a scoop up that just complete the kind of the depth that I've got, because again, rare mid. Maybe I go and get a Ryan Gold because I think he's coming down in price at the moment. So there's just a few kind of nice kind of quality of life cards I kind of need just to make sure I have a wee bit more flexibility, because as you guys have known and as you guys have heard me bitch about, all I've did has been stripping my club back to get these Celtic players in. I would also love a Haksabanovic and Abelgard, of course, but again, like the price people want for them, I won't be paying. Would you be sniffing around another unique? Draxler Rare is a fantastic card, by the way, and I was actually going to buy one as soon as I seen the news, but by the time I seen the news, I was actually 15 minutes behind everyone on the secondary market. I think he was going for around 0.2-ish or so, and now he's up at maybe 0.6 or above. But I think Draxler would be a great challenger mid, like great. Like I can't say that enough. 0.3. It's not bad, by the way. Maybe I would get a Draxler if he's about here. I've seen people listed him rapid really high. He's also came down already, but yeah, man, I maybe would get a Draxler. I maybe would. Hopefully a Hatate gets some rare mids. Yeah. Yeah, Hatate would actually, if I could get one Hatate as a rare mid, that would actually solve a lot of my problems. Oh, Draxler's got an injury. Updated 27 minutes ago. What's he been selling for? 0.2. Yeah, so he's kind of got back to market rate, I suppose, for where his transfer speculation. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I can see. Sorry. Where his transfer speculation has been over the last month prior to the move coming out the blue, relatively speaking. So yeah, look, you see that 0.19, and yeah, mad runs went up on him. Boom, 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 boom. 0.35 and above, 0.37, and then people are coming down now. 0.28 and stuff. But yeah, if you could have got one about here, man, fantastic, man. Brilliant card to get at that price. Even back here, if you're buying on speculation, like these guys probably would have been doing. Great price for a guy like that now. Great transfer. Um, so yeah, I think that's who I'm kind of thinking about at the moment is those kind of guys. Um, Marcelo Nunes, by the way, if he's still cheap, I wouldn't rule out buying a second one of him because I think this kid's brilliant. He's not got that many cards either, so having a second one, yeah, he's kind of listed up now. People, the other guys that have him are as aware as I am. This guy's a good guy to have. Like last midweek, he dropped 70 without a decisive, and he got booked as well. I'm sure goals conceded, no clean sheet, double double. He's on set pieces and stuff. This boy's brilliant. Great card to have. So glad I've got a limited and a rare. What do the limiteds go for? They're still cheap. Cheap enough, I suppose. They're not anything special. How many of them are there? 187. It's not a small number. Not a big number either, really. John Brooks could be on his way to Benfica. I also think that is an incredible transfer. What do you? No, I've caught that. And yeah, I don't know if I'd be go. I'm definitely interested in uniques still, but when I look at the auctions, like, yeah, it's either somebody. Yeah, there's just not enough auctions for them at the moment. Zambrotta is a legend I'm very interested in, but again, he's at Juventus. So if I got Nedved, who I really want, you kind of play them together. But yeah, I think it's rare mid is the main problem in my gallery now. I could maybe do with another goalkeeper. I'm thinking about buying some St. Pauli cards, so I might even do that. Ronald Matarita, but he goes cheap. He's coming back into training, by the way. That'd be a great flip if anyone's got the spare ETH, because he will go for pennies, like 0.005 or something for a super rare. There's actually 2 St. Pauli super rares already up. Wyckoff, Yanis Wyckoff. What's he score like? I've got no idea. Cisneros. So yeah, Baptiste Santa Maria. Who's Samovar? Ryan Gold, super rare. Oh, that'd be fun. It'd make my America team a lot better, wouldn't it? Anyway, 88. Oh, Ryan Gold, super. That'd be interesting. I don't need another super rare mid. I've got too many of them. Musa Dembele. Wonder what he goes for. Again, don't need another super rare forward either. You know, I kind of know exactly what I've got and what I've not got at this point, and I really shouldn't be deviating as much from what is needed for the club, you know. Are you worried players like Jota and Kyogo can get turned by clubs from top 5 leagues? Boojum, I don't understand that question. If you go really heavy into Celtic, is that a concern? Damn, what do you mean? Like they'll transfer? Is that what you're worried about? Is that the question? Gutted they took the unique and super rare kickoff competitions out. Yeah, well they've kind of disappeared, haven't they? I'm sure they'll probably return. Elise's Shikiri, rare, great value, in my opinion. I'll check him out. Seems very boom or bust with his dearth of football over the last 2 years. Draxler, yeah, it definitely is, but I think he's good enough. And if you're moving to Benfica, like you could have, I'm sure he could have went to MLS or Saudi Arabia. They've been, you know, the Gulf has been very active in this transfer window. They went for Denis Suarez. I'm sure they'd been sniffing around PSG for anyone they could get. So for him to go to Benfica, like I think that's a statement of intent where your Draxler you're going to get, you know. So yeah. So Boojum, am I worried about Kyogo and Jota leaving Celtic and going to another club? For SO5, no, because no. I think Celtic players leave Celtic normally do well, you know, most of the time. And normally we don't sell players straight into Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, PSG or whatever. If any time ever players leave us end up there, there's normally a team in the middle, you know. So I think now we've got to that stage where we could probably sell to Leicester for like 30 million and then, you know, that kind of thing, you know, maybe not Leicester specifically, but you understand my point, you know. Because we've seen like Lewis Ferguson go to Bologna for like a good couple of mil. You know, we could do transfers like 10 million into Italy and 15 million into Spain and whatever. So those kind of teams, like if Jota and Kyogo were going there, then they're going to do well. I think they're quality players. It breaks up the power stack again a bit, but I do have Super Verjakimakis, who's probably the least likely to leave. You know, I've got enough depth that I should always have an immediate team, even if players are injured or transfer. If and when Juranovic comes up on the market, would you be interested in any of his cards? Yeah, Juranovic was the number one defender I wanted last year. But now it's Taylor. I think Taylor is like, I'm so glad I only got Taylor because there was no Juranovic's, and I got that Taylor super cheap because nobody rated him. Um, I barely rated him when I bought him. But I think Juranovic is much more likely to leave or rotate, whereas Taylor is nailed on. But I still want a Juranovic. I think he's quality, and I think he's in our best 11, and I think he's going to have a great season. So I definitely want one, yeah. For showsies. And I think that's about all she wrote, guys. I hope you have a great game week. I really wish you all luck. I hope you are all just behind me on the podium. Just that much, right behind me. And yeah, stay tuned. If you're not already, down here at the bottom of the screen, that's all my social media stuff, right? If you're on any of these other platforms, make sure to follow me and like and all that. I'm trying to do more of these little short things because everyone seems to like them. And yeah, I hope you have great luck this game week. Wish me luck for Celtic versus Rangers. Let's hope that, I come home alive, from the end. I don't get myself into any bother. I stay out of trouble. That's the moral of the story here. I'm going to do my best to stay out of trouble, and I hope you all do as well. Have the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.